Now, coming to Geneva is fantastic to check out the International Auto Show, but another reason we're here is to drive this, the 7th generation Volkswagen Golf. Now, we've had a chance to drive it before in different versions. A year ago, we got a chance to drive the base model Volkswagen Golf that's coming to Canada shortly. We also had a chance to drive the GTI, and today, the Golf R, the top-of-range powerhouse with all-wheel drive. This is a very important car for Volkswagen.
Golf R really is the super Golf. Take everything we put into a GTI and square it. It starts off with a 2-liter turbocharged engine, this time putting out somewhere in the vicinity of 300 horsepower. Add in our 4-motion all-wheel drive, and you've got a powertrain that delivers the mail. The car is fast, the car is stable, it's got an excellent braking system. New for the Mark 7 will be the availability of our DSG or double clutch transmission. The last generation Golf R was only available with a manual, and of course we'll have a manual for the new R. This time though, for people who prefer not to shift their own, we'll have our DSG, which is essentially a manual transmission without a clutch. It's going to arrive in Canada sometime in 2015. We can't wait.
Now, the new 7th generation Volkswagen Golf is wider and it's longer, and you notice it right away when you get into this car compared to the older product. The center console is wider, you've got a much bigger screen, fabulous looking and very easy to navigate through. The radio is particularly easy, so is the navigation system. Very simple beneath that with 3 dials to choose for your air conditioning, your HVAC system. Underneath there's a big storage area for your phone, and the center console here is big for things like cups. Now you look at this particular Golf R and you notice the big chunky steering wheel that's flat at the bottom. There's new switchgear here throughout the entire car that feels more upscale and refined than the previous model, and a nice pleasant looking simple dashboard. But the star of the show with this car are the comfy and supportive seats that are heavily bolstered and have R there in the back. So it doesn't matter which model you get, the base Golf or this top of the line Golf R, they're all very similar on the inside. There's more room in the back seat for people, and the overall dimensions of the car make it much more usable for families. Now, they've gone to an electronic parking brake, which at first blush you think, I kind of miss the old handbrake, but this system works well because it's got the auto hold system. When you have this system on, every single time you come to a stop sign, basically, or a light, you're sitting there at a traffic light for 20, 30 seconds, you take your foot off the brake and the car will hold itself even when it's in drive. All you do is you press on the accelerator a little bit, disengages the brake, and away you go. You use this system a lot in your daily commute. So on the one hand, I miss the old parking brake, but this auto hold feature is dynamite. And once you've had it, I think you'd want to have it in every vehicle. Now, the Golf GTI has 210 horsepower from a 2-liter turbocharged direct injection engine. This car is also 2 liters direct injection and turbocharged, but it pumps out 300 horsepower in Europe. We think the Canadian version will have 290. So the way they calculate horsepower in Europe versus North America, not that this is a detuned engine. It has a lot of scoot. And the other thing, it's got a fantastic noise. It just scoots along, no problem at all. Now, the difference between the Golf R we got a year ago in Canada and this new one that's coming next year is the fact that it's available either with a 6-speed manual transmission or the 6-speed dual clutch DSG transmission that has lightning quick shifts. The other thing about the shifts is that this car now is programmable. There's a menu here, you hit mode and it goes from comfort to normal, race inspired, individual. You can set up things like how crisp you want the transmission to shift, how much throttle response you want with the engine, the steering feel, and all those features that you get with a modern car. So this new Golf R can be dialed in just the way the driver wants and be a very rewarding and invigorating drive. The all-wheel drive system gives you confidence, and it really is a great overall package. For people who don't want a front-wheel drive, high-horsepower car, this is the one to get from Volkswagen because you're putting the power to all 4 wheels. As we mentioned, the regular Golf and the GTI are going to be here this year. This one's coming in a year, and because it's that far away, pricing has not been finalized. But we're hearing that it's going to be very similarly priced to the outgoing Golf R, which was right at $40,000, but fully equipped. For this car, all you're going to need to choose is the color and the transmission. This platform, the engine and the transmission are shared with the new Audi S3, and that vehicle starts at $44,000. So if you're a savvy buyer, this Golf R has the same underpinnings but is less expensive.